Chapter 2, The Weight of Goodbye. The End of the World by Skeeter Davis had been playing in the apartment for way too long. He had started doing journal entries. He had heard somewhere that it helped you cope, it helped you grow, helped you deal. It helped. Day 1. The apartment is louder without you. The fridge hums a siren now. The clock taps its fingernails on the hour. The pipes clear their throat like they're about to say your name and think better of it. I keep finding your hair on the couch and in the sink. I don't know if it's a ghost or just cleaning I didn't do when I should have when you were here. I keep thinking if I stand still enough, the air will fold back into the shape it had when you were here. It doesn't. It won't. Although I tell myself not to text, I've sent text messages, emails, I've called. How embarrassing, how humiliating, groveling, wanting you back. Thrown away, discarded. It'll never be. Although I tell myself not to be the one who breaks, I break anyway. Loudly, silently, haphazardly. Be it in the middle of the kitchen or at a park, staring at a glass of alcohol that I know I shouldn't drink, but I pour myself another one. Better yet, I order another bottle. I go to a party and I'm lost. People I don't know, and there I am holding something I wish was you. I wish goodbye again, and it's a spell that only works if you repeat it, but it doesn't. The spell is just so quiet. It's quiet in its infinity. Day 2. The bed is a long question. I lie down in it and ask, are you sure? I am not. The pillow holds the shape of my doubt. I dream that you are at the foot of the bed, folding laundry that never ends. That was my favorite task, to help you. When I wake, there's a t-shirt with a stretched neckline, and I can't remember if it is yours or mine or ours. You would put on my shirts. I would hate it. Funny now that I wish you were here so I could love it. I put it on just to feel you. I can't smell you anymore, so I take it off. I wash it, and now it's blank. Blank as before, because it had already been washed. You'd already been gone. And I keep thinking the word goodbye weighs more in the morning. But just like another cycle, another day goes by. Day 4. Friends send sentences that are meant to help. You'll feel better soon. Soon is a hallway with no doors. I walk it back and forth carrying coffee that I don't drink. I keep reading the last messages we plan to send to each other. Your full stop appears at the end of the last one has the energy of a slammed door. How could I not tell it was coming all to a crashing end? I tell myself, she must have been tired. That's all, punctuation fatigue. You were never one for it. It's a lie that I told myself, or it's a lie that I believed, whether small in careful portions, so I don't get sick from the fact that I should have seen this coming. Day 7, I tried to run, but my body made it 2 blocks, and then remember that I'm carrying something heavier than just myself in my imaginary backpack. A cyclist swerved around me and said sorry in that way that means move. I wanted to say I'm already moving, but I wasn't. I'm a person who wants to be in motion but are stuck, and I want to be in a direction that I'm going. But it's you that is gone, and I cannot run after you, no matter how hard I try. Day 13, I threw out the widowed basil. It looked like how I feel. Something that was supposed to make everything taste better, but now it's dark at the edges. It reminds me of all the cooking classes we took together, some in the basements of trendy suburbs and cities, others at families, friends, or even our own families, cooking with aprons, sharing wine, with Spanish music playing in the background. This time opening up a window and letting in the cold. It's punishing, and I feel like I deserve it. I keep closing it because, well, I don't want to feel punished. But the truth of the matter is I'm now dining for one, and it's no longer cooking. It's just survival. Day 21. I almost texted you again about something random like the sky. It was that strange bruised color right before rain where the city looks like it's holding its breath. It's random things like that I would text you. It felt so common, and now it's out of place. I'll text you accomplishments, I'll text you my worries, I'll text you about anything. It just felt like I had to share, and you would get me. And even if you didn't, you'd text back. Now I've put in a protocol where I text myself. Sad, I know, but at least no one knows until right now. And it responds, so I guess I'm responding to myself. The sky finally rained, I said, and finally cried. Day 30. I walked past the cafe and barista asked, "Where's your other half?" As I joke, I think I smiled like people do when they're on, a stand-up routine. She'll be on her way. She's coming. Isn't it strange how smiling and grimacing use the same muscles? I used them all and then sat in the corner and drank tea, way too hot to enjoy. Well, because the pain made sense. Day 45. A friend asked me how to break up with someone kindly. My mouth was agape as I read their words in the text message. My head yelled, "Don't." My throat carried both and delivered something that sounded like advice. It was the opposite. Don't make promises. Don't be cruel to speed it up. Don't drag it out, though, and feel sorry for them. Just tell them the truth and then leave it alone. I said and felt like a thief, stealing from the night of an ending to pay someone else's debt, to pay someone else's daylight bill. By day 60, I wrote I cleaned the kitchen like a confession and scrubbed the grout with a toothbrush, because that's the kind of penance that feels like progress. Clean, clean, clean. Yes, I'd even paid the cleaning lady to come by, but I'd cleaned before she got here. So I found a dried steak of pasta sauce under the stove, which might have been from one of our steak nights. They were great. Wednesdays. We'd take photographs, Polaroids, and hang them on the fridge. I slunk to the floor and felt the cool tiles on my feet, my back on the fridge, and thought to myself, I preferred it when you were here, when I didn't use the air fryer so much. I preferred when I had to apologize for how undercooked the steak was. And we'll throw it out and just go get sushi. Day 75. The plants are thriving because I am not. I remember to water them, feed them, turn them so they can drink more light. Why not? Something else has to thrive. I think about how I didn't always do that with us. I want to write that I didn't know better. I did. Well, I thought I did. I just didn't know I had to be your sun and water all the time. I was hurting too, but even though I told you I was the man, and I guess in this society I should have manned up. There's a certain arrogance with that sentence, but at the same time, that's the state of the weather. And I had forgotten. I was not only the weatherman, I was the forecast, the umbrella, I was the sun, the sunshine, I was everything until I was not. Day 90. Dreamt we met at a train station. Yep, both of us in different platforms. You said, this one is mine. I said, I don't know where I'm going. Then both trains arrived and we parted ways, opposite from each other. I could feel the wind of them, the tug on my coat, and I woke up holding onto the blanket with both hands as if the bed were moving, and if I let go, I'd fall between tracks. I don't know if that was grief or just gravity. Day 120. Another friend, another kitchen table. Yep, I'd finally gone out. This time not for takeaway or to attempt at running or taking a bike ride and exercising or even work. It was to see a friend that had forced me out for another cup of something warm between their palms. I said, I think I'm done, but I love them. It piqued my interest. Love is the worst alibi, I told them, and I wish that someone had told me that. Love is a reason to try, not a sentence to stay. If trying turns into a smaller version of yourself, that's not trying. That's just called vanishing. Day 150. I went to the cinema alone and sat through the credits like it was church. I loved going to the cinema with you. We'd pick different movies, especially Christmas Day. We'd do it with your family. Like a realization, the lights came up, and no one rushed me out. No ushers, no one to sweep up the popcorn that had been left by couples that had left hand in hand. I read every name of those credits. I thought about those people in whose work I never see, but I still hold stories in my head. How many invisible hands had carried this, had carried a movie? I thought to myself, I'd never done this when I was with you. I talked through a whole movie once, being shushed. I was so happy. I'd even kissed you through a whole movie once. Not being shushed. We were even happier then. Day 200, I found a photo of us at the coast. Wind and everything, hair, jackets, the corner of your smile, trying to hold on to the moment and falling into the cutest way. I almost kept it on the fridge. I almost put it in a drawer. Instead, I took a picture of the picture and sent it to a folder called Light. I'm practicing the art of not erasing. You know me. I don't keep anything. Barely myself. Change is the thing that is only constant, I used to say. Well, I'm practicing the art of not worshiping, letting go. Somewhere between those is where I breathe. That's what I need. I need this to pass. I need to breathe. I need to let go. Day 240, someone had asked if I hate you. I said no before I knew why. Hate requires a live wire and with cutouts. I think what I feel is the weight of a door that doesn't open anymore. And yes, I still press it with my shoulder sometimes just to check if it will open. Hence those emails. Sorry about those. Whether I send them out drunk or sober-minded, subject matter isn't great. And sending them is not great at all. You could be with someone. You should be with someone. It feels alien-like to say that, but it is truth. I am growing. Better yet, I'm walking. Yeah. I'm walking, I'm pushing past you. Not like a shove. Just like a walk around the park, a walk in the city, a walk that's good for your health, that you know you need to do, you ought to do it. And by pushing past you is it we're familiar faces that know each other. Don't need to acknowledge each other, but by eye contact, we know that we knew each other. Day 300, another message. Can you talk to my sister? She's trying to end it right, but keeps swallowing the words and goes back to him. People keep handing me the endings as if I'm a locksmith. I keep turning the tumblers. Soft voice, clear steps, kindness as a blade that cuts clean. I don't know if I'm helping or just rehearsing. Maybe both. Maybe this is what about. The fact that you have to go through something to grow through something. Maybe it's okay. Now I'm the guru. The guy who went through it and who can help others go through it too. Day 350. I saw you across the street today when I saw the outline of you. Actually could have been a completely different person. You look like your coat, your hurry. But you always change clothes every season. My body did this thing that it used to do, the quick alignment, like iron filing, so a magnet, and the person turned, and yeah, they weren't you. And my chest made a sound I'm not too proud of that I've ever heard. It was a small, like a chair scooting back from a table. I wish it was you, with everything that breath let out. Day 365, 1 year like a slow tide. I kept expecting the big wave that would wash it clean. You remember those waves we used to talk about when ocean separated us? Well, now instead, water was up to my ankle, then calf, and then knee, sitting on the shore, getting used to the cold until the cold was just another word for being here. I'm not healed, I'm not ruined. I'm a person who knows the shape of goodbye and can hold it in his hand like I used to hold yours. Day 389. Past the neat circumstances of a year feels like stepping beyond the chalk line after the coroner leaves. There is still a house to clean, a bed to change, a fridge to empty, a fridge to make, a bed to make, a bed to clean, a house to be in. People stop making soft faces at me after a while. I don't blame them. I'm learning how to make soft faces for myself. Who else is there going to be there for me? Sometimes I'm better at it than others. Sometimes I'm not. It's still a day at a time. Day 407. I said yes to dinner with some kind person. Kind is underrated until you've lived without it. Their laugh found a pocket in my chest, and I've noticed was still there. I didn't tell them about you. I didn't measure them against you like a carpenter who thinks love is a door frame. I just ate slowly. I listened intently, and I left. But I know they wanted me to be there with them. But I had to go. You know, I still find you in my dreams. So it was better to go to sleep that night. And so I slept. Day 430. Advice again. A coworker this time, the kind who keeps their mug clean and their heart full of doubt. They wanted words. I gave them questions. What do you owe yourself tomorrow? Can you be brave without sharpening yourself into a weapon? Can you leave without hating? Can you stay without lying? They cried. They weren't ready. We hugged in the stairwell where no one walks except people who are clearly either early or late to work. Whatever the case, they are eyewitnesses to a beginning or an end of a relationship. Day 480. I deleted your number today and then added it back and then deleted it again. I think I got the numbers wrong, which is concerning because that means you are fading away. At time, my mind plays a trick on me. Did I even ever know you? I think I wanted to practice the part where I did know you. The part where you're still here, but you're not. I made pasta today and it was way too salty and it brought all these memories rushing back to my body. That and the rain which pitter-pattered on the window. And I thought of you. I thought, and I wondered if you'd ever cried over us, over leaving me, over us being like the dark night that those rain drops were cutting across, pitter-patting on my window pane. Day 520. I went back to the coastal path from the photo. The wind still works there. I said your name out loud just to see if I would blow away faster than the last year. It did. I didn't know whether to be proud or sad about that. So I just looked at the sea and I let it decide. It kept moving. The waves kept crashing. And I guess I miss you a little bit less. They weren't crashing on me like they used to. I wasn't drowning in you. I wasn't getting caught up by rip curls. I wasn't being taken out to sea. I was on the shore. I was watching it. I was watching it fade away from me. Day 600. Someone from months ago texted, "It worked. Thank you." I stared at the two words. It worked. I guess. It's not by miracle. It's just clean lines, gentle honesty that I told them, permission to end it. Make tea, boil a kettle, say the right verses, hold your applause. I learned it step by step. How to break up. It was the breakup clause. Day 700, the apartments sound ordinary again. The fridge is a fridge. The clock ticks like it always did. The pipes are just pipes. I'm startled by how normal anything can be. There's a dent on the couch where I'd been reading. Not like consistently, but I went to my favorite spot like you had yours. And, well, that shows you there were no ghosts. Because there was only one spot indented. And no one else had been sitting on the couch. Just the weight of a person sitting and staying. That person being me. Day 730. 2 years would have been a neat sentence, but the math of the heart doesn't love round numbers. Still, here I am circling. I don't think of you every day anymore, hence the entries have become more sporadic. When I do, well, it's not a blade. It is a shell I find at the beach. Yes, the beach that we used to walk, where you took me and your grandparents have a bench with their names and signed to it. It's lovely, it's specific as that. But just like that bench, yes, it's chipped, it's worn. But unlike it, we don't sit together. And unlike it, I get up whenever I want. And I just visit because it's nostalgic now. It just reminds me of days that used to be. Day 810. I said no to someone who wanted to try with me, but only if I folded myself into their luggage. They had a lot of baggage. Truth be told, we had actually tried, but they had a lot of baggage. I'm not going to air out their grievances, and I guess that's growth. The word tasted familiar. It didn't feel like anything familiar. It was their own problems, their own set of whatever they had gotten themselves into, and they wanted me to pick up the luggage and carry it for them all the way until our lives coexisted and then didn't exist again. If I didn't do it for you, I wasn't going to do it for them. I could do it for myself, but I wasn't going to do it for them and for the dependent. Day 900. A friend joked that I should charge for all these conversations and advice. I laughed and then I didn't. Because the thing is, I've been doing these kitchen and stairwell and outside cinema and coffee run talks. Not like I cared or it was something that needed to be in a shop front, branded with a neon sign. More like a password that passes from mouth to mouth. You just talk to me. If you heard about me, came up to me, we chatted. I gave you the advice that I thought matched your circumstances. I listened to you, I watched your body language, and I just dispensed what I thought was in your best interest. Day 940. I met with a friend from a long time ago, the one who stayed too long. You remember them. Well, we sat on the bench that made our knees almost touch. And we looked like two kids who had been sent outside to think about our choices. It told me how they did. It finally said the story. It was like a cinematic experience. It was a table, a glass of water, and hands that trembled only a little, and the truth told once. They said they felt like they had stolen a future and given it back to both of them. I believed them. They'd broken up with their person. I felt the chapter of their new chapter. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't with me. And it wasn't my chapter. By day 980, I was now listening to Both Sides Now by Joni Mitchell. I was listening to this because people kept asking me how I'm doing, and I say better, which is true. And, well, true like the weather. He's doing better. In the springtime, I'd gone through the colder winter. I'm gentle in the mornings. I'm specific with my goodbyes and advice. I leave rooms without turning back to check whether I've left them like Lot's wife. I am not turning into salt. If it is important, it will call my name. And if it isn't, it'll call my name and I will not turn back. Day 1000. The final entry. I don't know that I've healed so much as I've learned to carry. You can only heal what you reveal. I'm glad that I went through this experience. Yeah, it nearly took me 3 years, but the bag is not heavy. It is empty. And what has been emptied is what I've gone through. I am stronger because of you. I am stronger because of me. It was an accumulation, and to this, the small continuings. The days that I didn't text or email or call, to the dinners that maintained my sustenance, the advice I gave that was really a promise to myself, not the next goodbye. Although not painless, I did not lose, I realized. I learned. There's no failure. There's only falling forward. There's no mistakes. There's only memories you can make a future from. I make a museum not out of grief. I make a museum out of what I am right now. I am not destined for heartbreak or heartache, and I do not rest in the place that you left me. But I thank you, because now I leave you in these pages.